Hello, entrepreneurs. My name is Bimal Shah. I'm on a mission to make pioneers out of entrepreneurs by helping you achieve your 3 year goal in 1 year that's tied to your 25-year vision and 5 year moonshot. I do it through weekly sprints and 90-day leaps. This is the Pioneers Academy podcast, and I'm on a mission to make a million pioneers. And I thought this podcast channel will help you achieve your 3 year goal and jump to the next level. I'm going to be showing lots of training and lots of great episodes, so join on this podcast and get all the training and resources you need to achieve your 3 year goal in 1 year and make yourself a pioneer. I wrote 13 books, Becoming a Pioneer, and you can get all those 13 books on Amazon. We're going to give away to every listener who listens on this podcast a $100 Amazon gift card so you can get all the books and learn how to become a pioneer.
Welcome to the Pioneers Podcast, where we make pioneers out of entrepreneurs. I'm your host, April, and today's episode is all about helping you understand the real journey of building a business from the ground up. We're diving into the stages of company formation, what they are, why they matter, and how they can be a secret weapon for scaling faster and smarter. And joining me today is someone who's built in a legacy out of helping others succeed, none other than Bimal Shah, the founder of Rajput Achievers LLC and the visionary behind the 1 year breakthrough and the author of the Pioneers book series. So, if you're ready to take your business to the next level and learn how to move from simply doing business to building an empire, this conversation is for you. Hi, Bimal. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, April. Welcome. Really excited about today's topic about stages of company formation. A lot of time entrepreneurs are, confused, whether they start a company, what company they should form. So we're going to go over and dive into all those details, and there are lots of other tools, available today too for them to access and decide on which type of company they want to get started with.
Exactly, Bimal, and so am I here. Very excited to discuss this with you. So let's start with the basics, Bimal. Um, every company starts somewhere. What are the main stages of company formation that every entrepreneur should understand, and how can this knowledge help them grow with purpose and direction?
So let's start with a startup, right? That's where you're at ground zero. You have an idea, you want to start a business. Now, at this time, you're not sure if your idea has, merit, proof of concept, whether you form an LLC. Because if you form a company like an LLC, S corporation, or different type of corporations, you may, you run into legal cost, accounting costs, tax return filings, all of those filings that you must do even if you make zero or nothing. And right now it's just a idea in your head. Okay, so the easiest way to start this with the least amount of expense and additional cost is to do a DBA. And the DBA is, $50 or, a little bit here and there. You can go on your state registration website. You can file it as a sole proprietor. You can file it on your existing company. You can open up a bank account with that DBA. So you can test your idea, or your startup, whether or not this is going to fly, whether it's something that you're going to, take it to another level, whether you're going to run with it, is something that's working, not working. You can do all of that with just a simple DBA. Now, once this DBA, that is the initial stage, that is the startup. That's pretty much, because otherwise, if you go into forming a company and you're not even sure, you will have all these other expenses, whether you go forward with the idea or startup or business or not, or whether you make money or not. And there are many businesses where I've seen, for years, they have not, materialized, and it's just there, and they have added expenses of accounting, legal expenses, or they haven't done the legal part, and then they fell, they are disqualified, and there's penalties and taxes and all those things that they have to encounter. So the first step of doing a DBA is a great way to just get started with minimal expense out of pocket. And we have put a link in the show notes today for you to get started, where you could actually just click on the link, and then it will tell you what type of company, and it's called the bit.ly/the company structure. So this is where it will guide you on how to form the company.
That's so true. Like knowing what stage you're in changes how you will make decisions. So it will really gives clarity and confidence instead of like guessing how to do this and that. So thank you for that. Bimal. Now, choosing the right business structure can feel overwhelming. Like sole proprietorship, LLC, partnership, or corporation, and so many options. How can entrepreneurs figure out what's best for their current stage and for future goals?
So once you have gone past the stage of knowing that, okay, this is a business that is running, this is a business that I am making money, and now we have to go into all the other details, what type of company. So now, depending if you're just by yourself, you can do, an LLC to be taxed as an S corporation, multi-member LLC that gives you asset protection, all these other things that comes with it, and also does the able to do the tax filing and makes it easier for your CPA to do the tax filings and all of that. Now, if you're in partnership with someone, then before you get into the filing of the corporation, the most important element of a partnership, there are two important elements, a partnership agreement and a buy-sell agreement. Because if you're going to start a partnership, you need to lay the foundation of a strong, solid, durable, long lasting partnership where everybody's on the same page. Now, to get on the same page, you have to create the page first. And that page are these two agreements, which means that you get on these two agreements and you agree on things that, okay, between the two of us, if something goes wrong or if you quit, you pass away, or you desire to retire, or we sell the company, whatever the instances are, those are addressed first before they become problematic, because majority of the partnerships, more than 88% of the partnerships, fail. And they fail because they don't have a solid grounding agreement in place that keeps them working together. You become partners together to stay as partners, not to step away and walk away. So the goal of a partnership is to join hands to work together, not to separate later on. So that is the reason why, the most important element in terms of partnerships is to do a partnership agreement, buy-sell agreement. Those things are very, very essential. And then if you're planning for asset protection, tax planning, so CPAs, if you ask them, they will say, S corporation is the easiest to file, so they will tell you to file an S corp. Sometimes C corporation, it gives you double taxation, but you can do an LLC to be taxed as an S, because LLC gives you the limited liability protection as well. So depending on what your goals are with the company, where you are, so that's why the 3-year goal, getting to your 3-year goal in 1 year using the Quantum 90-day leap link in the show notes below, will help you, understand, where your company is, where your company is going to be headed, where do you want to take it, and then what type of company formation you need to do, and all of those things, and what kind of expenses. Because if your company is making very little money and you have 4 or 5 figure expenses, legal and tax, you're in the hole. And so think about where you are. If you could run with the simple DBA for a while until the business starts making money, do that. You don't have to have all these added expenses.
Like how you put that in detail, Bimal, because it's not just about filing out paperwork, it's about building the right foundation for where you want your company to go. So your business structure is your blueprint. So um, I hope you get that idea as you're listening right now for those entrepreneurs listening here. So thank you for that, Bimal. Now let's imagine company structures or when we're evolving now. As business grow, their needs change as well. So what are some signs that it's time to restructure or transition to a new formation type, and what should entrepreneurs watch out for?
So one of the things is when you change a company, it's considered, there is a provision for reorganization of a company, but it is detailed and you have to pass, several tests. You have to have an expert accountant, with you to do that. Now, if you're planning to just change, let's say you have a C corp and you thought that, okay, this is double taxation, I don't want to uh, do this, I want to change it to an S, or I want to change it to an LLC, it's considered as a sale. So the best stage to form a change is, once you know that, okay, you transition from a DBA to now a formation of a company. Okay, so now your business has generated money, it's doing things, and it's something that you want to proceed forward with, you want to continue doing. So now you get into the details and you think long term. So now you look at, okay, if I want to own this business 5 years from today, 10 years from today, what should be the structure? And that's how you think. So you want to immediately start thinking long term instead of short term. It's not a things to do, it's a process. So many of times, a lot of things that we take in life are like things to do. Oh, check a box, done, check a box, done. No, they are processes. They are a journey. Your structure, your business is a journey. So you have to think long term. So when you think long term, you say, okay, 5 years from today, 10 years from today, if this business is still there, this is how I would like it to be. This is the name, brand, structure, business, people, team, revenue, customers. And this would be the ideal name. This would be ideal structure. This would be the ideal formation. And that's how you decide to make the structure. And then whatever is the necessary agreements in place that you need to, you put those in place. So you save a lot of expenses later on. So I've seen a lot of businesses without an operating agreement. So if you don't have an operating agreement, even if you have an LLC, you could still, the LLC could still be pierced. People could sue you and collect money because you didn't have the proper things in place to protect you, which you were allowed to, but you didn't do it. So these are things that you need to do beforehand, before you get started, because they protect you. Operating agreement, protection agreement, asset protection, all of these things you need to put in place.
I love that reminder, Bimal. And as we all know, change can be intimidating, but it's often the very thing that allows a business to reach the next level. So don't be afraid of change. That's my takeaway here. So now, Bima, you are always sharing incredible resources for entrepreneurs, brands, and any other learning tools. Can you share some ways business owners can use this to fuel their next stage of growth?
Absolutely. So there are, if you're a startup, there are grants for startup. There are grants for businesses. So you can scan the QR code. You can go to the link in the show notes. Depending on where your business is, depending where your structure is, the link will give you a pre-qualification to tell you what is you're eligible for, and then we can get started with the next steps. So that's the process. That's the structure. So go to bit.ly/grants now, fill in the questionnaire, and it will tell you how much grant you can get. So depending on your business, depending on where you are, depending on what your goals are, we can guide you to the right places, the resources. There are plenty of those grants available. If you listen to the podcast episodes on the 4 different types of grants, you will understand all the different types of grants, how they work, in what type of grant you can qualify, what type of grant you want to research and apply for. And we do all the work. So we do everything from soup to nuts, get you the grant, so you don't have to worry about it. But click on the QR code, scan the QR code, or click on the show notes below, and it will take you to the next step.
That's incredible. And there are so many entrepreneurs who think that they have to do it all alone. But there's actually so much help out there that if you only know where to look. So start it by scanning that links on the show notes available. So there you can start. So thank you, Bimal, for that. And also, you've authored an entire 13 book series that's become a toolkit for entrepreneurs and everywhere. Which of your books would you recommend for someone wanting to master these stages of formation and scale their company?
So book number one goes into building the foundation, building your vision, 25-year vision, 5-year goal, 3-year goal, 1-year blueprint. So it kind of puts the big picture together. And then 2 to 5 will help you through the formations of the company and taking it to the next level, taking in the stages of making money and doing all of that. So then now you get into that, okay, then now the next step is the formation and all of that. So, besides just the legal and the tax formation, you have to think from a business standpoint. and what do you want to do with this business? How do you want to grow it? You have to build all of those. So that is more essential. Once you figure that out, this part is much easier to make a decision on. And the stages are like, okay, first test it, make sure it's running, do a simple, DBA or things like that, where you don't have to really get into expenses that you may not want, and they could be expensive. And you may have to, and it's not just a one-time expense, it's an annual recurring expense that you are hooked onto, that you can't get out unless you do all the legal filing, and then you one may need to terminate a company. If you terminate and then to restart, you have to do a whole new restarting process. So it may not work out for you if you go the other route of forming the company right away. You don't need to. You can just do a DBA and take it from there.
Exactly, Vimal. And those books of yours are such a treasure trove of knowledge. And I love how your books bridge strategy into real world application. So, everyone listening right now, investing in continuous learning will help you stay sharp and future ready. So, check out those books that is really free for you to check with those 100 Amazon gift card that you also offer, Bimal, right?
Absolutely. So check out the $100 Amazon gift card to all the listeners, all the viewers who are watching this on YouTube or listening this on the podcast. You have the link on the show notes. So you scan the QR code, you'll get the $100 gift card. You can scan and just redeem it, the gift card, and get all the books in the book series, and start it from beginning to end. It's worth millions of dollars if you just go through and implement it. And the books are written in a way where it forces you to take action, because it makes you write in it, take action, commit to dates and things, and all the things that you need to do. It becomes your book instead of mine. So use the gift card. It's very valuable. $100. So you get all the books and make yourself a pioneer. Achieve your 3-year goal in 1 year. Hello, pioneers and entrepreneurs. My name is Bimal Shah. I'm on a mission to make pioneers out of entrepreneurs by helping you achieve your 3-year goal in 1 year that is tied to your 25-year vision and 5-year moonshot. I do it through 90-day leaps and weekly sprints and through my own proprietary 4-leap system. I've also written 13 books, the Becoming a Pioneer series. I've founded the Pioneers Academy, the Pioneers Platform, and several resources that help you on several different platforms: the Thrive platform, Transform platform, and Transcend platform. So these are resources and tools that I built for you to double your business in a year and scale exponentially and become the only one in your business.